welcome. Hello, I'm Chip Jones, and welcome back to our garden here in Northeast Oklahoma. And I can't believe it's already time for an August garden tour here at the end of August. It's been a while since I've taken the time to stop and make a video. It's been really hot here in Northeast Oklahoma. We haven't had a lot of rain. We've actually had heat index almost up to 120 several days, and the humidity has been going through the roof. So it's been kind of a hot, difficult summer to get out and do a lot of gardening. As many of you know, I always say we spend our time a lot at work, which we work at a garden center here in the Tulsa area. And after being outside all day there, by the time we get home, it's really just taking care of the plants, trying to get them watered. But I did want to stop and give you a tour. We do have some upcoming projects that are going to be taking place, and we're going to be showing you some drawings of some of those upcoming projects so that you can kind of see things that we're going to be working on. But I want to show you kind of the befores. Today is about befores and seeing what the garden looks like at this state. And here we're in the front garden. We're kind of on the front side of what we call our screened veranda. We're going to be taking you inside this fall to show you this new addition that we added on to the east end of the house. But this will be one garden that we'll be adding a lot of new plants. We've put a few in here just so that we didn't have a blank slate when we pulled up to the front of the house. We have some beautiful limelight prime, hydrangea, some Nellie Stevens, hollies, also some acanthus that we've put in. So as we go through the fall season, that's a great time to be planting here in Oklahoma. So this will be one of the upcoming projects that we will be transforming as we go through into cooler weather. Just so you understand kind of where this garden is located, I'm going to move over in front of the house so that we get a wider view so that you can kind of see what we're going to be doing in the upcoming weeks. So just so you'll understand where this garden is located, this is the parking court, which is right here in front of the house. It's actually in front of the detached garage. And we've already started putting in some green velvet boxwoods. I punctuated the entrance with these concrete obelisks just to give it a little bit more importance. The goal is actually to pull you in, to get you to go into this garden and want to see what is happening beyond. Many times when we have guests that arrive up at the house, they want to, of course, go right to the front of the house, and the gardens actually flow all the way around to the house. But this was the one breaking point where we really didn't have a connection. And once we complete this garden, it will be a nice, easy flow all the way around, actually being one large garden that you can tour as you go all the way around the house. Again, this is going to be a fun project. We're going to bring you in the fall, show you the plants that we're going to be adding. So be sure to check back later to see how we are doing on this project. Next, what we're going to do is go ahead and start moving across in front of the house. There's going to be another new garden on the other side. I want to show you the before of that area before we start taking out the sod, bringing in the soil, and preparing that bed for that new garden. So let's head over this way. Before we head over to that new garden that's going to be going in, I did want to stop and just give you an update here at the entrance to the sidewalk, which leads up to the front door, and show you how well, again, these Rock and Play in the Blue salvias are doing. We cut these back pretty severe, probably about 6-7 weeks ago, and they are really starting to flush out now. They've become really leggy and tall and started to fall over. So we cut them back. We've been fertilizing, and as you can see, they're already starting to put up their beautiful new blooms. So I think it's going to be even more beautiful as we move into the fall. The Sweet Mademoiselle roses from Bloomables, I mean, they're unbelievable. I've talked about them before, just how beautiful just the foliage is. I love roses that are easy to take care of, and this has been one of the best. I haven't been as good about fertilizing them, so I think they would have bloomed a little bit better. But the foliage, again, is just amazing. I'm 6 feet tall, and just look, this is one season's growth, and they are doing so well. There's always fun projects you have to do, and then there's those not so fun projects. In behind these roses, we've actually got a not so fun project that we're going to have to do over the fall and winter season. We lost an autumn blaze maple and a really strong windstorm. It was probably late spring when it actually happened. So we're going to have to come in, try to get in between all these plants and get that root ball out. We're going to be putting in a new tree. Again, a not so fun project, but again, I think having a tree in the middle of this bed actually adds so much character, and is a project we're going to be working on once we get back to the cooler weather. So now let's run on over to the other side. I'm going to show you about that new fun project that's coming up here in just a few weeks. So here we are at the front of the house, and this is going to be the upcoming fun project that we're going to have going on. But before we get started, I want you to look at these beautiful salvias from Proven Winners. This is the Unplugged So Blue salvia. We, again, gave it a little trim back, some fertilizer, and it's really starting to push out again. Even with the stress of some of the very hot days we've had recently, I'm so pleased with how well it's already performing. So again, another fun plant to look for at the garden center each year. It's just one of those that I always certainly go to. But I want to talk about this project that we have coming up and tell you why we're actually going to be creating a new garden with a new path. When you arrive up to the front of the house, of course, it's easy to follow the path to know where to go to the front door. But when you get here to the side, all you do is walk into the grass. And I want this to be a little bit more welcoming that says, hey, I'm also a garden. Please come in and enjoy. This is going to be a garden that's going to connect the sidewalk here at the front door to the arbor, which is over here at the Courtyard Garden. We're actually going to be putting in flagstone, which will make a nice, soft path that will bring you over. And then we're going to be filling it with lush plantings as you go across. This is pretty much a full sun area. I really think I'm going to blow it out with roses. Again, I love the peach drift. Those are always one of my favorite. And then there's the new Orange Glow knockout rose. I don't know if many of you know, but there's actually a new beautiful orange rose from Knockout Roses. And I'm going to be adding a ton of those to this area because I love that orangey peach color mixed in with a lot of the purpley blues. And I think this will be a great area to incorporate those, being sun most of the day and also being something that's easy to take care of. I'm certainly going to be looking for those types of plants as well. But it's just going to be another really fun garden. We'll take out most of this sod, again, bringing the flagstone over to connect into the Courtyard Garden, and then filling in underneath this sycamore. It is just going to be nice and lush. Right now, it's just surrounded by mulch. We're actually going to put a little seating area at the front of the sycamore tree with some flagstone underneath it to also be a nice landing spot once you get over in front of there, and just fill it in with all kinds of beautiful blooms. Originally had put in the landscaping at the front. I never really imagined that I'd put in another huge garden right here at the front, but I want people to connect the sidewalk to the Courtyard Garden, and I just wanted something a little extra instead of just stepping out into the lawn. And I think creating that flagstone path, as well as adding beautiful plants into this area, I think it's probably going to turn into another one of my favorite areas once we're finished. So again, a project that we are going to have coming up in the next month or so. We're going to be taking all of this sod out. So we'll be sharing images of the new garden coming up here soon. So I want to take you into the courtyard and give you a little update so that you can see how all of these new plants have been doing through this Oklahoma heat. So y'all, just look at the Courtyard Garden, how beautiful it's been this year. Every year these hostas just continue to get larger and more full, and we've really tried to keep them hydrated as we've run into these very hot days, but it's been so humid that hasn't been such a problem of them drying out, thank goodness. But they have been absolutely beautiful. And then the new plantings, if you'll remember, we just put these in at the beginning of the spring season. They're actually coming along and doing quite well. Again, these plants still get a little bit of sunshine in the middle of the afternoon. So they have had some of that 100-degree heat that's actually been baking them a little bit. So I'm pretty pleased. I think every year they'll continue to get better and better. And one plant over here that absolutely has done beautiful. This is the Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. We grow it for the foliage. You know, many of the hibiscus you grow for the bloom, but just look. This is from one season. Actually, when we got these in at the garden center, it was probably maybe 4 to 5 inches of really just a stick that we planted. And look how much they have grown just in this one season. Absolutely beautiful plant. Again, it's a tropical for us here in northeast Oklahoma, so it will die with the frost, but just been a beautiful plant and always an eye catcher. Everyone asks what this is. They think it's some type of Japanese maple because of the foliage, but again, a really fun plant. And the containers themselves, they're doing well. Had a little struggle with the sun patients. I haven't been out here every day to water them, so there's been a little bit of struggle, but they're trying to hang on. But I think overall, the containers have done really well. The plants have done really well. And one of the upcoming projects, when we are working out front, we're actually going to be starting to add our flagstone in here. So again, it'll be one of those projects coming up in the fall and winter season that you'll see us doing. And it'll certainly start to transform this area, give it kind of a proper path as you come over to the bench. And I think by next year, it's really going to be a real special area. So now we're going to actually run through the butterfly garden really quick, show you how it looks today, and then in at my most exciting project that's coming up. So just follow along. I want y'all to look. We have a new friend in the courtyard garden. Just look at this cute little parakeet that has come to live with us here at the farm. Ooh, there he goes up into the tree. So the parakeet, we noticed about 2 to 3 weeks ago, started living out here around this bird feeder. I ran to the store and got some parakeet seed. We've actually found him down at the barn a couple of days, but now he's come back up to the house, which I'm really excited. We are going to try to catch him and take him in because we want to take care of him, but probably he got out of someone's home and has been flying around with all the wild birds. But it's just been such a fun new critter to watch here at the farm, and we certainly are enjoying it. So we'll let you know here soon if we get him caught and see if we can make him a new home inside. So now we've moved around to the back of the house. Of course, this is the butterfly garden where we've spent a lot of time already. And this is, I guess, overall the 3rd year for this garden, and it's done really, really well. It did get stressed out through the extreme heat, but I think most plants have really done really well. Of course, we've already had those caterpillars eating on the bronze fennel, and the milkweed as well has been being devoured. But some of the plants that have actually done really well, just look at this hollyhock. If you've seen one of my videos before, most always throughout the spring, we've been talking about the hollyhocks. And I absolutely just love this color. We have a lot of bright colors in this garden here at the back. And I think this hot pink actually works really, really well. So I hope these will seed and spread, and we'll end up having more and more hollyhocks each year. Again, another sweet Mademoiselle rose that's up here. This is the 1st year. So earlier in the video, I was showing you those roses that they were up to 6 feet tall. This is the growth just from one season. So you can see it's done really, really well. Coneflowers are doing well, angel trumpets. And then right here, we have the beautiful Mystic Spires salvia. It is absolutely beautiful. We have not trimmed this plant once this season, so you can just see how well it's done, performed really well. And it's one of those plants, since we're kind of in the back of the house where It's not up where you're always looking for perfect bloom. I always like to leave some of the salvias in bloom so that the bees and the butterflies have some of their normal plants that they're used to, because if you cut everything back at the same time, then your pollinators really don't have a lot of plants to go to. So you don't want to just scare them off by cutting everything back at one time. So we've left this Mystic Spires salvia. I don't think it's really needed a trim this season because it's absolutely beautiful and done really well. Again, having a pollinator garden, I think, is just a win-win for you. It's absolutely beautiful and something I think everyone should participate in. So certainly look for fun pollinator plants out at your garden center. So now I want to take you over to what's going to be probably my most exciting project this fall, the upcoming potting shed. So let's head over to that area now. So coming into the back lawn and just through the arbor here in the back is probably going to be one of my most exciting projects that I've been waiting to show you. We're actually going to be building kind of a circular garden in this area. We're going to leave a nice circular lawn here in the front, add more perennial borders as we go around. But the best addition to this garden, which we've been waiting for almost 8 years, we're going to transform this old shed into my potting shed. And I absolutely cannot wait till you see all that we have planned. We're going to put up some drawings now that my friend John did so that you can kind of get an idea. But again, we're going to be doing a circular lawn here in the front. We're actually going to be taking this building down to the studs and rebuilding it. We're going to be putting in some fun antique French doors. And I want to show you this great overhang, which I found at an antique shop in Oklahoma City. This wonderful old architectural fragment is actually going to be what goes over the front porch. We're going to build a roof, which gives the front porch a little bit of protection. We're going to have a really neat front porch, which is going to have some steps leading down into this oval area. And it's going to be a great location for me to add a lot of containers. And again, just be a wonderful spot to actually put all of my tools in one place. Right now, I've been keeping them in the garage. And sometimes when you go in to look for your favorite tool, you can't find it because it's gotten moved around. So this will be a great spot. Keep all of those tools and containers together. There's going to be some really neat surprises inside. And in just a couple of weeks, we're going to be actually tearing this apart. We're going to take you along for that journey so that you can experience this ripping out and putting back together this fun project throughout the fall season. So I hope that you'll stick around because I think it's really going to turn into one of the masterpieces here in the garden. So as you can tell, I'm so excited about these upcoming projects, and I hope the temperature turns a little bit so that it gets a little bit cooler so that we can get outside and enjoy being out here a little bit more. Again, we're going to take you along as we tear apart and rebuild and actually put in new gardens. So I hope that you will stick around and look forward to those coming. And remember, if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe, like, and follow me, the Preppy Gardener, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you in the next video.